Alright, what up boys? I'm in Bedrock Edition. I know this is a rare, elusive place to see me. I have a prosthetic limb for some reason. I'm wearing a dream sweatshirt, which is really awkward considering the recent controversies. I also have the Minecraft movie event cape. I'm gonna go see the movie in like 3 hours or so. So I figured I should play this special little thing they set up for it. The Spark universe. It's a universe of sparks. And I'm gonna get copyrighted by Warner Brothers. Mojang's gonna come along and strike this video down. My channel's gonna get deleted. Oh hey, that's me! Look at me just strolling along. Like a little goober. Look at him. Welcome to the overworld! I know, awesome. Or is this Jason Momoa? I don't know. Hope you're up for a challenge. The Garbage Man has some new games in store. This is actually extremely well made for some reason. Wait, this is actually kind of hype. Oh, we're in. Oh, whoa. Perspective cannot be changed. Look at me go. It's me. To play a game. Okay. Oh, okay. I was going to say, is the camera going to at least follow me? I'm playing Electra Chase. Boom. We can play as Steve. We can play as Dodd, but I can't actually play as Dodd. We can't play as Natalie. We can't play as Garrett. And we can't play as Piglin. And we can't play as Henry. And we can't play as Villager. Okay, Steve. Although I don't look like... I do look like Steve, but only from the third person. What do I do? Okay. Okay. I'm just cool like that. Ooh. You'll never catch me, losers. Why am I in the Grand Canyon, though? Ah. Okay, I die. You guys stink. Boom. Got it. Okay, so these things give me like a hyper boost of death so that I can plow through your girlfriend like A-Train. Alright. No, get me up. No. I refuse to fail. Are these guys actually a threat, or do they just kind of stand there? I'm guessing they just kind of stand there. Okay, that man just absolutely... I was proven wrong, like, somewhat instantly there. How are you guys on this fine evening? I'm just gonna come over here. Ow! Why does it make a bone crunch noise every time I lose? I am in immeasurable pain. Ow! I'm actually trash. What is this? This is only minigame 1. Can I just skip this section entirely? That doesn't... You can't skip over it. Okay. Well, we might as well do something else because I'm clearly garbage at that. First night survival. What is this, like 5 Nights at Steve's or something? I am Jack Black. Alright. Ah, yes, finally. First person Minecraft. I can actually do things. What am I supposed to... What's even the goal here? Alright, things are happening, I guess. Okay, I got stuff. Cool. At least the texture pack looks pretty hype. Oh, hey, guys. You're comically slow. Okay, bye. I'm just gonna go collect the loot chests, I guess. I was gonna craft, like, armor, but just give me OP stuff when I kill you, yeah. This is it. Why do they creep? What is the creeper doing? Hello? Oh, that was pretty cool. Just give me everything. Okay. I am a PvE Giga Chad. I do kind of wish people would stop spawning in my face every 3 feet, though. I survived the night, apparently. We can make whatever this is. A saxophone? Alright, let's just make that, I guess. I like how Steve has a lack of a pelvis there. Buck chuckets. Whatever the hell that means. Alright. And it's night again. That was the fastest day of my life. What do you do with this? It's just here? Okay. We'll place this over here. It's like Autobot Stronghold. You just place down... Oh, and then it shoots them. Oh, awesome. I don't even have to play anymore. Ow. Let's test out the buckets of chucking or whatever. I'm actually gonna die, low-key. Hold up. Turret, help. Did the turrets despawn? I've been betrayed. How am I supposed to reach that? It's like all the way down there in the pits of hell. I have to become, like... I have to become part of the Catholic Church to get that chest. Yes, okay. I swear to God if I get backstabbed by a guy. Nice. Why is the chest undulating? Get nunchucked. Nunchucked, whatever the word is. Kill him. He doesn't even have a bow. What an idiot. You don't even want to be here, do you? You don't get paid enough for this BS. Understandable. Have a nice day. Let's just dodge the lava. Try not to catch ourselves on fire. I have a feeling that'll be absolutely detrimental. Turns out burning alive is not good for your health. Okay, it should be daytime again, right? I don't know why the day lasts like 5 seconds and the night lasts 40 minutes. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. I can craft a decoy. Boom. Get trolled. Attack that thing. They did not fall for it. Oh wait, there's a thing. I see it. The portal. The portal out of here. I recognize that from the trailer. It's the Nether portal. That's not another portal. Hey. How are you on this fine evening? You must be friends with that skeleton, huh? Oh, sorry. Let me take care of this idiot. Okay, we can get back to our lovely conversation. Ah! Was that you? Well, screw you then, huh? Subscribe for more awesome Minecraft content so that I, too, can become cancelled. Okay, you can't even place blocks. What is this, adventure mode? Are you serious? Is there actually no way up there? We have an explosive. I don't know why they can't just call it TNT. Oh, the shield works actually pretty well. Ow! Does that guy have a flame bow? I think he has a flame bow. Okay. Alright, y'all need to calm down. I'm actually gonna die. Hold on. Time out. Give me a minute. I made TNT, didn't I? Can I play the saxophone at them? Oh my god. My musical prowess knows no bounds. That... That worked. Apparently you could saxophone people to death in this game. Alright. If I just play the saxophone all night, they'll never get me. Easy dubs. Okay, we got like a bunch of traps, I guess. Boom. 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 Fall in the trap. Oh, I got him. Nice. Attack thingy. No. You've been saxophoned. Oh no, it's a chicken jockey. I need to throw popcorn in my movie theater now. He's immune. Bomb. That worked. These guys are bold coming up here like this. Confronting me in my own home. Alright, if we place 2 like this, it'll double time them. And then I hold up a bow. Oh, they can't even get up here. What a bunch of idiots. Look at you. You just got absolutely wombo comboed, brother. Aw, this is adorable. You think you could just come up here without getting destroyed by my 9,000 super turrets? You can place 2 in 1 block for double their projectiles. Aw, look at this little creeper down here. No. Imagine trying to live. You reach night 5. Woo. I unlocked this person. Mansion style. Okay, let's do this. Boop. Alright, we can play as Dawn. Let's play as Dawn. Retrieve the Earth Crystal without getting seen. Okay. Feel like I'm playing RL Craft. We have to go sneaky mode. It's like Skyrim. Gotta keep them out of my... Gotta keep myself out of their line of sight. Luckily, he has a light ejecting from his crotch to tell me. I'm hidden now. What are you gonna do about it? Oh, he sees nothing. He suspects actually nothing. What a loser. Ooh, you see nothing. No. Oh my god. Why are there so many of them, though? That's my question. Just gotta stay out of their line of sight, which is actually comically large for some reason. Got him. There's a beautiful mine coin sitting on the floor. I really want to yoink that. So long. That's a guy. That's a guy. Those are various guys. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That guy, even though we're making direct, longful eye contact... Why does that count as losing? Okay. There are invisible barriers preventing me from escaping. Whee! Okay. Can I go around the back door? Hold up. This is a big brain move right here. I played Hello Neighbor. I know what I'm doing. Give me the weapon. I want to stab this guy. Stronger enemies are harder to stab. Well, that would have been nice to know 45 minutes ago. What's up? I see a checkpoint. I'm going for it. Checkpoint. Okay, I'm assuming that guy's harder to get past. But he still didn't notice me like an absolute idiot. I don't know who in their right mind wouldn't notice this BS sticking out of their own pot. Bye then, I guess. Bunch of buffoons. What a bunch of fools. This guy really needs to go on his lunch break. Where'd he go? The perspective changes so much when you go from third person to first person. It's crazy. Do not mind me. Don't mind it. Don't mind me. I'm gone. Bye-bye. What an idiot. Alright, well, I made another checkpoint, so I'm cool like that. Alright, they have short-term memory loss. They have amnesia. Has this guy ever... These guys have no object permanence. It's actually hilarious. You literally just watched me hide in that closet, you absolute goober. I don't even know what it is I'm looking for. They just gave me like some vague name of an object. You're looking for the heart of the overworld. What does that mean? Don't make me pick up that saxophone and blast you back to the blues era. Get confused, idiot. Okay. But I have a totem of undying, right? Does that mean nothing? I had a totem. No way you see me. I'm in like a dark, shady corner. I'm like your sleep paralysis demon. Okay, this guy's walk cycle goes that way. And then I'm assuming this guy comes over here. Yeah, he does. Because then he turns that way. And then I come this way while that guy goes that way. And then we're out of here. I'm just right back where I started, bro. This game is such a pain in my ass. There was a guy right there. I'm just running by all of you idiots. I don't even care. Peace out, losers. You noticed that. Okay. Alright, let's try the Electro one again. Let's at least see if we can beat this. I feel like I can get this if I want. Nope. Nope, I'm absolutely cooked. Continue forward. We can gain air again. Yeah. Go right here. Okay. Haul as well. Wow, that is... Why did they put that boost there? That's actually horrible to grab. That doesn't boost you, it just throws you into a wall and then you get concussed in 5 different ways. I think this one's good to grab, though. Ooh. Oh, boy. Oh, please give me that. From the bottom of my heart, go screw yourself. How long is this course? It's like actually 40 minutes long. We did it. I don't even get to go to the pandas. I get to just be sad. How are you on this fine evening? That's pretty cool. And I can play as the guy I'm employed by. Awesome. Hey man, how does it feel to know that I get to play as you? I'm coming behind the counter. This is a robbery. Can I just straight up leave the store? What happens if I just dip? I can't. There's a giant invisible wall here preventing me from having free will. Awesome. Is there anything else you can actually do in here, or is this is pretty much it? I think this is pretty much it. Alright, sorry, no autographs, but buddy, I wasn't asking for one. Calm down. Alright, well, that was pretty cool. I'll come back to you with my opinions on the movie. Bye. Okay, I just saw the movie last night. Pretty insano style. This review is going to be a little different than how I usually structure story videos. Typically I script it out on my phone, but this time around I actually just have a list of bullet points I want to touch on, and I'm just going to kind of freely talk about it, so this is going to be relatively unstructured here. I am going to split this into 2 or 3-ish sections. We're going to start with the things that I thought were good about the movie, and then we're going to move to the things that I thought were bad. So let's hop into that. Also, I should reiterate, major spoiler warning. I'm going to go really thick in the weeds here. I'm going to directly address certain scenes and plot points. So if you don't want to know anything about the movie, if you haven't seen it yet and don't want spoilers, get out of here, because I am about to just absolutely yap about the entire film. I really like the humor in this movie. It's pretty much got my out-of-pocket sense of humor. I don't know, I just really like it. There is a lot of scenes in this movie that feel very in touch with like what modern humor is. So I don't know, there's like a scene where Jason Momoa and Jack Black are flying through the air with their Electras, and they have to get through like a small hole in this giant stone wall to escape a gassed piglin army chasing them. And they're like, we have to go full man sandwich. So then they like get all up in each other's cheeks. And it's just crazy. I don't know, there's another scene where one of the main characters, Henry, just straight up commits a war crime at the start. He builds like this like jetpack thing, and then one of the bully kids in his school like snips one of the wires, and then it takes off and explodes a giant mascot on top of the factory where his sister works. Which, dude, it's indescribable how hilarious that is in the theater, where you're just sitting there like watching this scene, and then randomly he just commits like an actual act of war like right in front of your eyes, and you're just like, what the fuck? The next thing I liked was the visuals, but this is kind of for the most part, since like the visuals are kind of lackluster in certain bits. And what I mean by that is like there are certain parts where they just straight up green screen the humans into Minecraft, and you can tell they hired me to edit this movie, because dear God, it's literally just like a base chroma key, and sometimes they add in like a CGI shadow to make them look like they're actually standing there, but you can just so totally tell that there's a flat blue screen behind them, and it just looks so jarring. But for the actual Minecraft stuff, that stuff looks actually really good. I mean, sure, it is like the weird uncanny Minecraft with RTX turned on or whatever, but like the animators clearly actually tried with those parts. Like the mobs actually look cool. The villagers, they're creepy, but they look cool. You know, everything moves smooth, everything looks good, all the visual effects are nice. The audio design is another thing I wanted to touch on. This movie combines noises from the game and then kind of also adds their own like cinematic audio design to it. And it creates like this really nice mixture of, you know, nostalgic game sound effects and cinematic sound effects. And I thought that was really clever. That was a good idea. And then these are like the last couple things I'm going to compliment the movie on, but I'm going to keep it relatively short. I think the acting is pretty good. I mean, sometimes it kind of falls flat, especially for like the two child characters, like the brother and sister. For some reason I immediately forgot what their name is. Sometimes they have really good acting, sometimes it's kind of meh, but I'm willing to let that slide because those two are basically my age. I don't think I could act well in this movie either. It's kind of like how if you watch like Star Wars Part 4, it's like Mark Hamill, and how in that movie his acting is absolutely atrocious. Like, he is absolutely not trying. He's like, Obi-Wan, teach me the Force. It's like, oh, shut up, Hamill. But then, like, you look at Mark Hamill now, and he is absolutely terrifying to watch on screen when, like, he's, like, playing the trickster or whatever. It's like, oh, wow, this man developed. So, I mean, considering this is, like, one of their first movies, I'm not going to be too critical on their acting, because I probably couldn't do any better myself. I would be so turbo ass if I tried to do anything in this movie. Whatever. I think the acting is fine. The other thing I want to compliment as far as like the acting and the characters go is just like the movie is very self-aware. You know, it's very aware of the fact that it's stupid and doesn't make sense. Hell, one of the advertising schemes for this movie was a movie you can turn your brain off to or something. It was like, if you want to watch this movie first, you must turn your brain off.
To turn off your brain.
Which is so accurate. This movie doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make any sense. So truly, it's enjoyable if you just don't think about it. But I made the mistake of thinking about it, so here we are. Alright, now it's time to be negative. Let's talk about the bad stuff. The first thing that immediately comes to mind is the writing. The writing is not even trying. They have some arcs for characters that like start in the beginning of the movie, and then only a couple of the characters actually finish out those arcs. The best way I can describe this, the way I've described this to other people when talking about this, is it feels like the first and second half of the movie were written by two entirely different people, where the first half of the movie does a lot of like narrative exposition, it sets up a lot of characters, etc., etc., and then there is just absolutely zero payoff for any of that later on in the movie. Only like I said, like only like two characters actually finish their arc and get character development, and then everyone else is just kind of there, and it's really lame. I guess I should give like an example of this. So an example of a character who does kind of get an arc is like Jason Momoa's character, the Garbage Man. At the beginning of the movie, you learn that back in his glory days, he was like Gamer of the Year in the 90s or something, and now he's a loser. Everyone hates him. He's poor. He's literally getting evicted from his store. What a goober, am I right? What an absolute buffoon. But he's also like really vain, so he still considers himself like the gamer of the century, and he thinks he's the one who knocks, but he's actually just like an absolute goober. And throughout the course of the movie, he kind of has to learn to think about other people other than himself, and then his arc kind of rounds out in the final battle when he decides to save Henry from falling to his death, and he like came back from the dead, because earlier in the movie you kind of get the implication that he just straight up dies, like a ghast shoots him with a fireball and then he just explodes Michael Bay style. Of course, everyone in the audience knows that he didn't die because this is the most predictable plot of all time, but still, you know, they wanted to have that I came back and I had character development moment. But then there's characters that don't have any development, like Malagosha or whatever her name is. She's like the main villain of the movie, and her whole backstory is, I was creative, I was in America's Got Talent, and I danced, and then everyone made fun of me because my dance moves were stinky and bad. They were pretty terrible. It was like a drunk person at the nightclub at 3 a.m. on Broadway. It was pretty terrible. So they all laughed at me, and they told me, you can't be creative, kid. So I vowed to never let anyone else be creative ever again. So they like really build up the fact that this villain could have a redemption arc, and then they just kind of kill her. Like, at the end of the movie, she just dies, and it's like, oh, okay, we're just gonna completely ignore, like, okay, if you're not gonna have the character round out her arc, just don't give her an arc to begin with. Just say, oh, she's evil because Piglin. That would have made a lot more sense than whatever the hell this was. It's like they did an attempt to give her motivations, but then failed horribly, and also her motivations don't even make sense halfway through the movie. Like, sometimes she only cares about destroying creativity, so that's why she wants to invade the overworld, is because everyone's creative there and she wants to destroy everything, like her creativity was destroyed. But then every now and then there's just dialogue that's like, bring me their gold. So now all she cares about is material wealth. She's a capitalist, I guess, now, and doesn't care about creativity whatsoever. So again, it feels like the writers just did not pay attention to their own plot points. So the villain has like 97 goals and they can't choose which one is her main goal, and then she just dies, and it's like, oh, okay. And then of course there's kind of some middle road characters that just are sort of there and don't really have a plot line whatsoever, like the older sister to whatever his name is, Henry. I think her name is like Natalie or something. Her plot line doesn't go anywhere. She's just there, like literally. Like, they try to give her motivations. It's like, protect my younger brother at all costs, but she doesn't have any character development. I'd say the only character development you could argue she makes is she goes from being like an absolute goober to, on the second night, I literally, you not, second night, she's a PvP legend. She went out and played some Skywars duels or something, became Legend 3, like, overnight, because now all of a sudden she's, like, really good at self-defense. She's just stabbing idiots left and right. It's absolutely insane. And they kind of do it off-screen, too. Like, she has, like, one battle with a horde of piglins in the Midport village or whatever, and then all of a sudden she's just hyper confident in her ability to survive in this world, and she's just like casually beating up creatures without even breaking a sweat, and it's like, that's pretty much it. And then at the end of the movie they're like, she started her own self-defense dojo because of it, and it's like, okay. Like, one plot point I'm really mad they didn't touch on is the fact that her younger brother literally blows up her company building, and then you kind of get the impression they're going to, like, make that a plot point where, like, the company ends up finding out it was her younger brother, and then they fire her, so then she's mad at him, and it's, like, a whole thing that they have to overcome. Nope. It served no purpose. Him blowing up her company was completely overlooked. It was a complete afterthought. No one ever mentions it ever again. Like, come on, man. This movie is nothing but just things being thrown in and then having no payoff. So it's just a bunch of random stuff happening one after another, and it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, there's so much I want to talk about. Like, another thing I can think of is just, like, on the topic of characters, the characters are just incredibly unrealistic. I'm pretty sure there's only one character. The only character who makes sense in this movie is Dawn, which is like the realtor, animal lover girl. She serves as like the self-awareness of the movie. She always has dialogue kind of like making fun of what's happening or going like, what the hell, what is that thing, or stuff like that. Like, she's definitely the self-awareness bugle of the movie, and everyone else is just unbearably unrealistic. Like, I get it, it's a movie, it's a kid's film or whatever, but like Steve, he's a real person, but he's an absolute goober. He's just constantly breaking out into song and doing Jack Blackisms. You know, he's all Flint and Steel, slime cube, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like, okay. And Garrett is very similar. He's also always just saying like the most unhinged one-liner stuff, and it's just so weird. And then like you got like the vice principal. That's a whole other side plot I want to mention because I thought it was hilarious, but also what the hell is who thought of this? There's a vice principal person, and she's played by Jennifer Coolidge. And her whole plot in the movie is that she just is in love with everyone. She flirts with Garrett when he pretends to be Henry's uncle or something, because like he gets in trouble briefly for like the jetpack incident, and she's like, you need to call your uncle. So then like Henry, having met Garrett like 10 minutes ago in the shop, was like, oh well, I can't tell my sister Natalie I did this, so I gotta call Garrett and I'll offer him money to do it. So then Garrett shows up and then she flirts with him. Well, eventually her plot ends up being like a nitwit villager gets into the real world through the plot portal or whatever, and he's just strolling around. He's just casually strolling the streets of Chicago. He's going to be a victim of gang violence pretty soon, and then he ends up getting absolutely obliterated by a car. And guess whose car it was? Yep, it was Jennifer Coolidge's car. And she gets out and she's like, oh no, not again. So she plowed many a man with her car in the past, is the implication there. And then they just go on a date. And then just like the movie keeps cutting away to them on like this date with the villager, and then she ends up like marrying the villager a day later in the end credits scene, and he ends up like being British. So like her ex walks in, he's like, how could you be with this idiot? He looks so stupid. Who even is this? And then the villager's like, excuse me, sir, I don't appreciate your tone. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so unrealistic. Like another thing that I saw throughout the movie that I was like, what? Was like, Minecraft characters keep bleeding into real life, and no one in real life seems to ever call attention to it. They don't even seem to notice. Like, at one point, Steve's dog, I think it's Dennis, gets into the real world, and he's just there in public during the day, just walking around, just giant cube obelisk dog, just strolling the streets. No one cares. Not a single person cares. It's like, okay. And same thing with the villager. This villager is on a date with Jennifer Coolidge. No one in the diner seems to even care. It's so unrealistic. I mean, I get it. It's freaking Minecraft movie, but still, it's just really jarring. And speaking of jarring, let's talk about the pacing. This movie is the definition of jingling keys. This movie actually speedruns the game faster than Dream speedruns Minecraft. It's ridiculous. Literally, the structure of this movie is a ton of exposition at the beginning. Okay, some character development. We're gonna show you each character and where they're coming from and what their plot lines are. Okay, boom, we found the cube.
I'm never gonna give you the old spark. I feel like a fruitcake saying that, Mike.
In a storage container. Now we're in Minecraft. Let's explain Minecraft. We're good at Minecraft. We need to go to the mansion to get the thing to escape Minecraft. Oh, there's a villain. We gotta defeat her. Training montage, final battle. We defeated the villain. We escape Minecraft. It literally goes that fast. There's barely any space for character development or dialogue or anything. It's just, boom, there's this, boom, there's this. Alright, boom, we're here now. Alright, ooh, keep watching, kids. Key jingle. Okay, boom, there's this, boom, there's this. It's like, oh my god. I can't remember anything about this movie because it moves so fast. It's faster than Grant Gustin. I'm so tired of this review already. I don't know. I feel like if I want to go back to something positive, I really like how they handled like cameos. Like there are some YouTubers in there You know, in the beginning, like during the auctioning of the random storage unit scene, there's a couple of YouTubers. There's another point in the movie that I thought was really nice, but also I have a controversial opinion about this, but I'll get to that in a minute. It's the Technoblade reference. I thought that went unbelievably hard. Hell yeah, W Technoblade reference. Always a big fan of that. And then they do like a Herobrine reference, but it's not actually Herobrine. And this is probably the best scene in the movie, in my opinion, is this scene where Henry is trying to find like a replacement to a broken piece of the movie's MacGuffin, which is like the orb of the overworld or whatever. It's that kind of Tesseract looking thing that you see in all the trailers. It comes in two components. It comes in the actual Tesseract, and then there's like this sleeve that like a housing unit for the Tesseract. And once you combine the two, it reopens the portal to real life. Well, Jason Momoa like accidentally breaks the housing unit, so they have to go to the Woodland Mansion to get like a replacement for it, because for some reason the Vindicators have another one just laying around, just an extra one. They accidentally ordered two when they ordered the Tesseract off of eBay, and they just stored it because they were like, we don't need two of these for our Xbox playing system. He goes in there, and then there's like the scene where an Enderman walks in behind him. And they did something really cool with the Enderman. The Enderman, like, hypnotizes you if you look into its eyes, and it makes you see all your worst fears. And Henry's worst fear is, like, being rejected by everyone. So it's, like, this cutscene in his mind where everyone has, like, glowing white eyes, and they're all making mad fun of him. They're like, Henry, you absolute loser. You're gonna be stupid forever. And also, screw your creativity notebook. All those children pictures you drew burned in a fireplace. And one of the people who talks to him with white eyes is Steve, and that's like the Herobrine reference. But I just thought the Enderman thing was cool, because like the audio design and the visuals during the hypnotization scene is really cool, and then he has like a epic PvP battle with the Enderman right after the hypnotization. I liked that a lot. I thought that was a cool concept to add to an Enderman's mythos, you know. But I should go back to my controversial take on the whole Technoblade reference thing. I really liked that reference, don't get me wrong, but I do think it's kind of weird they didn't tell Technoblade's family about it, because if you've been following Technodad's Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, he literally had to ask his own viewers, is my son in the movie? And they went, yeah. So that immediately is a red flag that they just threw that in there and did not at least get a blessing from the family, or at least let the family know or something. I don't know. I thought that was a little weird. Luckily, it wasn't a piece of drama, because he seemed ecstatic that they put the reference in the movie. So all is well. I just thought, maybe next time tell the family members of the person you're gonna be putting a thing in there about. I don't know. I feel like that would just be respectful, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's a non-problem. It's just a random thought I had. I'm not trying to like stir the pot or create drama or anything. It's just a thought I had, and I was like, that's a little odd. But hey, they put the reference in there. The reference is awesome. It's like 5 seconds long. They just do like a little wink and a nod to Technoblade, and it's just awesome. So all around W reference. I just thought that little piece of it was a little strange, but whatever. What do I know? I'm just some nerd in his mother's basement. I guess I should wrap this up. I mean, I could go on and on about all the stuff I liked and all the stuff I definitely didn't like, but I don't know. I think one thing I definitely do want to say real quick is, like, this movie legitimately feels like your small infant son trying to explain to you what Minecraft is. It's like a kid trying to explain what Minecraft is to his parents, but also he's adding in his own fan fiction lore midway through, and then someone took what Timmy said to his parents explaining Minecraft and turned it into a summer blockbuster with a $500 million budget. That's just this movie. This movie is just that. I would like to address one more thing, and this is a cope I have seen floating around online so much in comment sections, in servers. A few of my friends have even said this to me when I criticized the movie. They say, what did you expect? It's a kid's movie. Okay, I understand where you're coming from there, but that's not an excuse for a movie being bad. There are plenty of kids' movies out there that are well written and watchable and have actual characters. I do not understand why, if something is made for kids, automatically they are just allowed to phone it in. That will never make sense to me. It's like, I get it. It's the key jingling fast-paced thing is a better argument you could make that for. because it's like kids have a bad attention span, so we make the movie fast. Okay, sure, but that doesn't really explain why the characters are terrible. It just doesn't. It's the whole movie just kind of feels like people are just kind of there. And on the topic of it's a kids movie, I don't even know why it's a kids movie. Clearly, Microsoft and Mojang and Warner Brothers collectively don't understand what the target audience of this film was. It's a movie for people who grew up with the game, who are my age or older, young adults to adults. I don't know why they aimed this towards milk drinking, diaper pooping babies. I never gonna understand that executive decision they made. It is what it is now. It doesn't matter anymore. It's out. They're coming out with other media like the Netflix series or whatever. Maybe they're actually gonna like turbo try hard that series or something. I don't know. I just don't think that's a good excuse that you can keep coping with. It's just like, oh, it was made for kids, of course it's bad. No, that's not. No, kids movies can still be good. They can still have decent plots. I don't understand where everyone's getting that from. I don't know. But anyway, if I'm going to plug this into the magma meter, which is in no way, shape, or form related to the moist meter, I'm going to give it 2 scores here in 2 different categories, because I think it's unfair to judge this movie as one cohesive unit, considering it itself is not one cohesive unit. If we're gonna measure it from a it's fun and funny aspect, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. If we're gonna measure it from a movie plotline, cohesive storyline standpoint, it's like a 2 or 3 out of 10. It is absolutely atrocious if you judge it with those points in mind. If it's just like a fun, silly movie that you want to go and laugh at, it's excellent. 10 out of 10 pretty much, but yeah, those are the 2 scores. Like 3 out of 10 for seriousness, and like 7 out of 10 for funny. I don't know. I could go on, but I think I'm done. So that's my sophisticated review of the movie. That is the end. Goodbye. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, I guess, you absolute loser. I just wasted like 40 minutes of your life. Haha.